Yo, what up guys? So summer is upon us. It is gonna get hot. Right now it's not. This is like the last week of it still being cool. I can still be in a sweater. Next week it's hitting like 90s. Maybe it might hit like high 90s out here, and it's gonna get hot. So I'm gonna show you one of the things I'm gonna do to get my FPV gear summer ready. Alright, so these are my FPV goggles here. They are just way too dark. That's one of the downfalls I've never liked about these goggles, is it gets super hot. This sponge foam actually helps with like keeping some of the sweat and grossness out, and it's the Newbie Drones one. It's the best one I found for like light leak and everything too. And I'm probably gonna update my Ethic strap, probably put a black one on there, which kind of defeats the purpose, but we don't have any lighter color, and I'm kind of over the green right now. But we're gonna disassemble this, and we're gonna paint it, because one of the things I like to do is paint my goggles. So previous models, I've had this. This is like a flat, dark earth, kind of coyote brown looking color in black. Love this colorway. I'm thinking that might look kind of sick on this, like doing something similar, or I just paint it white, like normal Fat Shark. I know that's gonna help with the heat and everything, but yeah, I don't know. Let's see what paint cans I have left and what colors I could go with. I still think I have this color inside of my my cabinet, but yeah, maybe like this part, leave it. I don't know. Alright, so let's see what we got in Eric's house of color here. Alright. What are we looking for? Shelf number 2, paint cans. We do have white. I always have white around. My wife always has me painting stuff in white. So there's that option. Don't want red. No. I think this is... that was like a plasti dip of that color. Is this it? Maybe this was it. Let me see here. Ooh. Yeah. Well, that's that. So we'll grab that in white. We'll figure this out. Alright, so now that we have paint figured out, I need to figure out how I am going to take this thing apart. Looks like there's little screw holes here and there, and yeah, let's just get to it. I always use the microbit toolkit. Never leave home without it. So I'm not sure what I'm gonna do with this like front patch piece, but I might paint this as well. It's kind of like a plasti dip material, but yeah, we'll see. Alright, so the sponge foam is just like Velcro-y. Newbie Drones, if you want to sponsor me on some sponge foam, hit me up. That'd be cool. Alright, so this looks like I might be biting off more than I could chew on this section here. There's some Phillips screws here and some Phillips screws right here. But under here on the Velcro side, it just looks like it's like a Phillips screw nightmare. So we'll see how this goes. Yeah. So if you look on my goggles, these pieces here seem to, they're kind of like de-lambing, but they're underneath that faceplate. I wonder why these are covered in the first place. Maybe to keep dust out. I don't know if there's also a tab I need to lift up to take these off. I really don't want to go through here and take all these off though, because what I'm thinking is how these kind of were. I'm kind of leaning towards painting them like this again. I wouldn't mind having the whole gray part being the coyote brown color, and then the back part being the darker color like I had the black faceplate here. So I'm kind of just trying to figure out how I could just take off this part, and then also I'll paint this the same color, so the whole front is coyote brown. I might leave that, I'm not sure. So I have these little tools here. These are like for taking apart controllers and things carefully, and I'll see if I can find somewhere to wedge something. My other question I have is, so this front piece here looks different from this bottom piece. You could see this little like seam that goes along here. So I'm not sure how I'm gonna get this removed. Also, I might have to just go forward with taking out all these screws. How many screws are under here that I don't want to peel this off right now, but I think I have to. Alright, so I found 2 more screws here. This one doesn't have anything. This one has 2 screws. Mind you, the screws on this portion are a lot smaller than the other screws. Okay, so with that there, we got a little progress. Looks as though we have a ribbon cable here. 2 more of the same small screws for the board holding in this ribbon cable. And that's going to be your 5-way and 2 buttons located there for going through the menus, things like that. So now that I have this top part open, it looks as though there is some long screws or something underneath this Velcro part that is holding this front face together. So I need to figure out where those are at, and that's going to be my next thing to take apart. Okay, so I took that Velcro part off. I can't really see down in there. If I use my light, I can see that there's 3 very small Phillips screws down in there. So I'm gonna need to find a long, small Phillips screwdriver to get down in there. They really made this one tricky for me, so we'll be right back. Alright, so when you got a shop full of tools, you kind of find things, and we could see if we could get in here. It's kind of hard getting a feel for if I'm getting it or not, but you can see there's a small screw in there. And you want to be very careful as not to strip these out, because it is pretty far in there and it does hold the front faceplate. Alright, so we got those screws out, so now we got to kind of, I like to always wedge it and see like what's holding the rest of everything in place here. See if we could get a peek inside here of what's going on. Alright, so this is an 8mm socket that typically fits one of these like SMA nuts, as you can see here. Problem is with this is it's too thick. Can't get it down into this hole here. So we're gonna have to modify this guy. Seems as though that wasn't enough, but luckily I own a metal turning lathe. And we'll be able to get this thing nice and cleaned up. Alright, so now that we have our turned down socket, let's see if we can get these out. Cool. Alright, so with these out now, let's see if we can get back to the mystery on how to get this thing taken apart. Alright, so we got this mask section off here. I'm gonna clean this off also. Alright, so we're getting further into the inside of the goggles here. See, there's a fan and a couple things, but there are these screws here, and I think that's what's holding on this plate. We have a lot more screws to take off. Seems to be the theme of this. Alright, so I've located some very small Allen screws down here that I think that might be our next clue. Okay, so we got this part off. That has the sliders for the adjustments there. And now we can see into the bottom of the goggles a little bit more and try and figure out how we're going to take all this out. Alright, so it looks as though we have two more hidden screws. One in there, and then one under this nose section here. Alright, listen. There's your LED board in there that lets you see what channel you're on. You don't really make it easy to take this section out here for the LED thing. I don't want to paint these. I don't want to paint the buttons, but they like melted the plastic so that it's like kind of permanent there. Alright, I'm gonna put this module somewhere where the lenses won't get scratched up. Now you can see how they kind of melted a little like plastic stuff. Maybe I'll use a soldering iron and I can make it come loose. We'll see. This is the last step we need to do before being able to paint it, I think. That and just remove these screws. You can see I used the solder to kind of melt right there and break their plastic solder seal they used. So now we finally got the plate off, and yeah, let's unscrew these and we could get to painting. Alright, we got our pieces done here, so let's get everything put back together. I'll save you guys the expense of the pain of all the screws, and we'll see what it looks like when it's done. Alright, I am loving the way that these goggles came out. The black and the tan, I don't know, I just like this colorway all the time. I added the old strap from Ethics. This is the Coyote tan one. We just came out with it again, so go check that out. Get them while they're hot, because like once they're gone, usually that's it. We don't keep the colors around like too often. So yeah, I don't know. What do you guys think? Leave a comment if you think these are pretty cool too. I do need the black sponge foam from Newbie Drones. I'll probably get that tomorrow on my way to the airport. And besides that, I think these are pretty complete. Sorry, I'm looking at them in the screen because they look so dope. But yeah, if you made it this far, make sure you guys like, subscribe, do all the things. Thanks for watching. Peace out.